From the start of Elvis and Priscilla's relationship, the two were shrouded in controversy that spread into the rules their family would have to follow. Hi, I'm Stacey Taylor and today I'm counting down the top 10 strict rules the Presley family has to follow. So what rules would you choose not to follow as a member of the Presley family, and let us know in the comments below. Coming at number 10, we have makeup. During a November 2016 appearance on ITV's Loose Woman, Priscilla Presley would admit that Elvis would refuse to see her without makeup on, or even if she looked a bit disheveled. During an interview, Priscilla would say, "Some can't have the truth. I've always had a little bit of makeup. He never wanted to see me getting dressed. He wanted to see the end result." It wasn't until after the pair got divorced that Priscilla would notice that Elvis had been trying to transform her into the ideal woman. That's why he had strict rules on how her makeup should look and how she should dress when she was around him. Priscilla would even say later in an essay for People, something in his southern upbringing had taught him that the right girl was to be saved for marriage. I was that girl. She would then claim that Elvis would try to mold her into his perfect woman, and she would wear clothes, hairstyle, and makeup of his careful choosing, and it took her years to finally understand who she was and to build a personality of her own. Number 9, Elvis's mother. It's no secret that Elvis had a deep-rooted mommy issue problem, which ultimately bled into his relationship with Priscilla. In her 1985 memoir, Elvis and Me, Priscilla picked up on Elvis's unshakable relationship with his mother Gladys, who passed away in 1958. Priscilla would say, "I was to learn Elvis's mother Gladys was the love of his life." According to Express biographer Alma Nash, pointed out that Elvis's mother passed away coincided with him meeting Priscilla, which might have led to his obsession to turn her into Gladys. Elvis was looking for that young girl that he could mold into the very image of Gladys, and he had a knack for dressing up young women to resemble her. He would pick out their clothes, makeup, and show them how to style their hair, and this is why Priscilla was so perfect, is because she would do everything he wanted her to do, because she was scared that if she didn't do it, some other woman would, and she wanted to be the one. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming at number 8, we have Scientology. Lisa Marie Presley was so traumatized by her father's passing after she discovered that he had passed away at the age of 9, she had to spend the next 35 years of her life trying to be cured by the Church of Scientology. According to claims by her former counsel, Karen de la Carriere, who was known as the Queen of Scientology as she was high-ranking member of the church for 35 years, she would say that Priscilla Presley turned to Scientology to alleviate the grief of Elvis's sudden passing in 1977. She used the church to help control her daughter's behavioral problems as well. While Elvis would never allow his daughter to join the church if he was still alive, after Priscilla joined the church after being recommended to join by John Travolta, she would then make Lisa Marie join as well, and Priscilla would even go on to force her to attend behavioral classes so she could get her daughter to fall back into line. Lisa Marie was a second-generation Scientologist who didn't want to go into Scientology in the first place, but was dragged into it because her parents were in it. She also didn't want to attend the courses, but she had to follow her mother's rules. Number 7, obedience classes. After Lisa Marie Presley started to act out after her father passed away, Priscilla was seeking out new ways to help gain control of her daughter, Lisa Marie. One of these methods was to let the Church of Scientology deal with her. By the age of 11 years old, Lisa would be dropped off at the Scientology Center for hours for obedience therapy and purification rundowns. This would reportedly consist of hot sauna sessions, exercise, and taking vitamins. Every day, Priscilla would be seen scowling when the big limousine would drive up to the Celebrity Center with a chauffeur and drop Lisa Marie off, as she was ordered to get out of the car to get into the church and straighten herself out. Lisa Marie had no choice but to attend the sessions, and every time she acted up, she would be dropped back off at the center. Priscilla would instruct the church to handle her, and Lisa Marie would be stuck at the center for hours and forced into conversion therapy and obedience therapy. Number 6, can't talk to Elvis's friends. While Elvis might have been a fan of sexy outfits and heavy makeup for Priscilla, he was so allegedly quite jealous and possessive of her. He made it clear from the beginning that the Memphis Mafia was to keep their distance from Priscilla. Elvis's former bodyguard Sonny West would even say he made it clear that Priscilla was not to enter any room with other males that were present until Elvis was already there. Elvis also went to great pains to shield Priscilla from the public and sometimes even his friends. Any violation of the mandate let her in for a third-degree punishment. If she spent any time alone with any other man in Grace Graceland, no matter how innocent it was, both she and him might be questioned about why they were in the same room together, what they talked about, and for how long. Elvis is said to have had a possessive attitude, and it's surprising with his own colorful dating history. If you are with Elvis, it was only him, but he could be with whoever he wanted. Doesn't make sense. Number 5, the secret children. Even though Elvis has been gone for many years, Elvis is still the center of several new scandals over the years, and one of them, hitting headlines, seems to claim that the King of Rock and Roll supposedly kept a secret of 7 of his children from the rest of the world. And over the years, the Presley family had to keep this a secret. While it's just been a speculation that Elvis does have other children, the National Enquirer would even state that they too believe Elvis may have 7 other children out there, as the tabloid has claimed that they have conducted a 2-year investigation into missing members of the Presley family, and the National Enquirer has even went as far to say that they have witness testimonies, check receipts, personal correspondence, birth certificates, and DNA tests that prove that the children belong to Elvis, and that they were kept away from Hollywood all this time. And the Presley family even kept this a secret from the world, and with the family being very quiet on the matter, it leaves you to wonder if the king actually does have any other children floating around out there. Number 4, school. When Elvis and Priscilla first started their relationship, it would continue upon his return to the United States, and Priscilla stayed in Germany with her parents. In 1960, Elvis would return to the United States, and during this time, him and Priscilla would stay in touch, and soon Elvis would plot a plan to have Priscilla come visit him at his Graceland home. During a school break, Priscilla joined Presley and his family. However, after ensuring Priscilla's parents she would remain in Memphis, and he reportedly took her to LA, and Elvis's friends would cover up for the king by sending the teen's parents postcards from Memphis to mislead them to cover his broken promise. After a 1962 Christmas visit, Presley would then urge to have Priscilla stay by his side, and he would assure Priscilla's mother and her stepfather that she would attend a Catholic school in Memphis and obtain a high school diploma. He also promised her parents he would live with his father off his Graceland property. However, after several nights of living with Elvis's father, she began spending more time at Graceland, and she would eventually move in permanently without her parents suspecting any wrongdoing, and they kept this a secret from her parents as they broke her parents' rules. Number 3, don't approach Elvis for photos. Anyone who had plans of dating Elvis had to follow 3 strict rules when it came to dating the King of Rock and Roll. The first rule that they would be given is that they were not allowed to ask to take pictures with the star, and they weren't even allowed to go around his Graceland property and snap pictures of themselves either. Elvis made this a strict rule as his girlfriends were meant to be his girlfriends, not fans. Elvis was a very private person, and if you were going to be with him, you had to be with him. Even if you were a fan, you had to put this all aside, otherwise he wouldn't want to be with you and he would just cut off communication with you completely. And if you thought any of Elvis's rules for dating him would be negotiated, they couldn't. Even if you thought you could spin things around and negotiate the rules, this wouldn't be the case, and Elvis would just end up ghosting you. Number 2, the golden rules. Elvis Presley had an affair with his on-screen lover, Anne Margaret, that turned into a romantic relationship. But when things got real and Priscilla Presley found out about their relationship, he was forced to break his one golden rule before marrying her. Elvis's life changed when he signed on to appear in Viva Las Vegas. At the time, he starred in a massive amount of movies that showed him singing, dancing, and courting women for the delight of his millions of fans. But then he met Anne Margaret and started to spend almost every waking moment with her. However, when other people started to get involved in their relationship, it would start to crumble. When Anne Margaret was in the UK promoting Viva Las Vegas, when she was asked about her relationship with the King of Rock and Roll, somehow she was misquoted in saying that she was secretly engaged to Elvis, and this would lead to Elvis to break one of his most important rules, which is if you're caught in the act, never admit to it. This would be the time Elvis would come clean to Priscilla, who was furious, and he would then decide it was time to take their relationship to the next step, and he married Priscilla as he previously promised Priscilla's parents he was going to marry her one day, and being a man of his word, he did, and he ended up ghosting Anne Margaret for not following his other golden rule, which is to keep his name out of the press. Number 1, stay with Elvis at all times. So recently, Elvis's ex-girlfriend Mindy Miller exposed Elvis in an interview when she stated that He had 3 non-negotiable rules for his girlfriends that they had to follow, and they were set out by his Memphis Mafia. One of the rules any woman in Elvis's life had to follow was that you had to be present with Elvis and watch him at all times. Mindy would go on to say, if he got up in the middle of the night and he didn't sleepwalk, he just wanted to watch TV or something, to eat, whatever it was, you had to watch him. 2 words. Watch him. She would also go on to say, I, unlike other girlfriends, didn't consider it a part of the job. It was delight for me. He was my boyfriend. I didn't look at him as Elvis Presley. I fell in love with the man I met. If Elvis wanted something to eat, Mindy would go downstairs to the kitchen with him and he would call one of the maids to bring something up. Either way, anything that was going on, whether Elvis was to leave or go to bed, Mindy or any of his other girlfriends would have to stick by his side, and they would even have to study and read the Bible and spiritual books together. Well, that's it for this video, my little peaches. Until the next one, remember to stay juicy.